It's noon here on the East Coast in Ventnor, New Jersey, and Bethesda, Maryland, and this is news that you can use from YAA with your hosts Zach and Ray. And I gotta say, your hair looks rather I don't know I don't know, fetching maybe. You've got a fetching head of hair today, handsome.
Yeah, buddy.
Pops, I think someone's at the door. Can
There
you let
better
him in?
be. It's the F&I goddess herself.
Hi.
And she's got a fetching head of hair today as well. Yeah.
Zach let me use his dippity do, Ray. So
is that what it is?
I was dipping it and doing it over here, and hopefully, but his curls are spot on today, aren't they?
They are.
We can just this is the show. So if you enjoy content like this, just stick around. We'll continue for the next.
Yes.
This is fantastic. Really,
it is the realest reality TV show you will ever see, and I can promise you that.
Yes.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah,
all right. Happy Friday to the two of you. We are going to talk about the auto loan repo-apocalypse, the bubble. It keeps building. It keeps. We got new data from Experian. I thought we'd start our conversation today there with the data from Experian. Then we can talk about going power boating, one of our favorite pastimes, recreational pastimes.
Power booking.
With racehorses.
With a boat. Yeah.
We'll go power booking. We'll go power booking together. And then it's Friday, guys. And Friday means we've got success stories, happy things to share. We're going to end the week on a good note. How does all of that sound?
Well, I better think of something happy.
I'm always happy. Please. It's happiness all around on Friday.
Absolutely.
Let's kick things off with the Experian data. Okay, I'll share my screen. Actually, we can take a quick peek at this article, but then I just want to put this into perspective and we'll go from there. This comes by way of Reuters, but the headline reads, U.S. consumers borrow at record levels as car prices surge. That data from Experian. The average vehicle loan for a new car passed $40,000. They're saying for the previous quarter, the monthly payment is $667 in the second quarter. We already know from Cox Automotive that the average new car payment is north of $730 in the most recent month. Average amount borrowed rose 13.2%. The numbers, guys, they just, it's kind of unfathomable at this point where they are. What is this? What does this make you think, Miss Kimberly Kline?
It makes me think the same thing that we think on a daily basis. How can people afford it? I don't know. The pricing of used cars just blows me away on a daily basis. But as the article says, between the inventory shortage and the rising vehicle costs, consumers are looking to make the most cost-effective decisions. Well, are they real? I mean, I don't know. Are they really cost-effective?
What do you make of that comment from Leon? People are still borrowing to maintain lifestyle that will drive the next crash. I mean, that's kind of what you've got to imagine it is, right?
I agree. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
I would think, if I may, on that, I would think that if we look at outstanding credit card debt, I will guarantee you that over the last 6 to 9 months, outstanding credit card debt has grown dramatically so that people can maintain the lifestyles that they have grown accustomed to. It's all on somebody else's dime at this point. And really the people aren't as concerned as perhaps they should be with having to pay back that money, and how long it'll take them to pay back that money and how much it will cost them to pay back any credit card debt. Because that's the scary stuff.
It really is. And I will tell you too, this might be surprising, but I do get these questions. And for some reason this week I got the most of them. And that is people not understanding why the interest rates are higher on the used vehicles. I want everybody out there to know that, yes, indeed, everything is higher on used vehicles. Your interest rate will be higher on used vehicles, and I'm going to tell you a little tidbit about that here in a second. But also the cost of a vehicle service contract, aka extended warranty, is always going to be higher on a used vehicle. And that's, I don't know, folks, if you're going to get one, that's the vehicle you need it most on, I would say. everything is a bit higher. When it comes to shopping for interest rates on used vehicles, keep this in mind when you're looking and you're doing your internet sleuthing and you're Googling credit unions. Every credit union is different as far as their interest rate on a new car. Credit unions will dictate what that is. So some credit unions will say, hey, you're going to get 4.59% on 2023s to 2018. So you've got new and used in there, but they cut it off at 18. Some credit unions will only give you 23 to the year 2020 with that new car interest rate. And then beyond that, it goes up. And some will go to like 2019. So keep an eye on that whenever you're shopping around for interest rates at credit unions, what the new car interest rate is. What years does that encompass, that new car interest rate? Because it will take in some used cars. But once you get beyond a certain point, yeah, it goes up.
And if I may, I just want to reference even more of the Experian data because it's so important that people understand what you just described, Kimberly, because, and I'm reading this from Experian, 62% of buyers from Experian's data from last quarter financed used vehicles during the second quarter, up 2 points from the first quarter and a 4-point increase year over year. The flight to used vehicles could be seen across all credit tiers, with the largest gain seen in 77% of near prime customers financing used models, up 5 points from a year earlier. Experian defines near prime as customers with credit scores between 600 and 660. This is what you just described as has never been more important than right now, because 77% of car buyers in the 600 to 660 credit score range are buying used cars and probably don't know what you just described, which is, hey, you actually might be able to qualify for the new car credit rate if you actually do that internet sleuthing and put the legwork in.
100%. It goes by the year of the vehicle. So, and all credit unions will be different on that. So be sure to check it out.
And truth be told, most of your near prime borrowers with a credit score between 601 and 660, they're not qualifying for the best rates to begin with. Okay, you have to be well above 700 to start qualifying for the best rates. Now, credit unions, credit unions aren't quite as bad with rate up charges as banks are. But yeah, if you're near prime, you're paying a higher rate to begin with. And the older the car gets, the reason the rate is going to be higher is there's greater risk on behalf of the bank. If you have a 5-year-old or 6-year-old car that you're looking to buy and you want to finance it for the proverbial average amount of time, which I believe, according to the article, is 68 months. That's almost 6 years. Well, there's a heck of a lot more risk on that loan, because by the time it's paid off, that car will be 11 or 12 years old. And what do you think might happen during those almost 6 years worth of payments on a pre-owned vehicle? You think there could be some maintenance that needs to be done? You think there might be a major repair that needs to be done? You think that somebody might have to look at either making a car payment or making a repair? It's not both. It's an either or situation for a lot of people. So the bank has much more exposure on those older cars, and well, they want to get a bigger reward for having lent the money on those cars with greater exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind what we're talking about. Melinda, if I said her name right, Zabritsky from Experian says that these are record-setting metrics. Like, we've never seen this before. Record-setting, you guys.
And the other thing that I found interesting in the article, I think the average amount financed was a little over $28,000 on these pre-owned cars. And if 62% of people are opting for pre-owned, it's got to be, in my mind, it has to be, because the price of new cars is so far out of their reach that they're finding themselves having to settle for these more affordable pre-owned cars that are terribly overpriced in today's market, that are way overvalued in today's market, which it just indicates to me that we need to figure out ways to make more affordable new cars available to people so that we're not forcing more and more people into buying these older vehicles that are overpriced, that have a potential for major repairs down the line. Because most of them, if not all of them, are already out of warranty.
Mhm.
So it's just, there has to be a manufacturer out there somewhere who said, I know we can't make as much per car on our less expensive vehicles, but damn it, if we produced a lot of them, we could make the money back because we'll do it in volume. There are people out there that would buy cheap, inexpensive new cars if they were available.
Pops, you got to get to work, man. We need you on the manufacturing line, making the next generation Yugo. Let's get it. Let's come on.
Well,
There you go.
I'll tell you what, I'll work every day except between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
Hey, let me share with you guys
I got a
something.
show to do. Yeah.
I'm excited to share this. I don't know. I'm just going to do it. One of the things that we're working on to help people understand what they're getting into when they are financing a vehicle, one of the things that's coming soon, and Miss Kimberly Kline, you should recognize this. We were reviewing it earlier this week. This isn't live yet. It'll be a little while. It might change even a little bit. But you know how when you search for a car on joinyaa.com, we give you the out-the-door price, an estimate of what the out-the-door price is. The latest thing that we're working on is integrating a monthly payment calculator. So that will pull in the out-the-door price. You can put in the cash down. You'll be able to choose a loan term, plug in an interest rate, add in your trade value. We're doing some really cool things here where you'll actually be able to get like that CarMax offer, that Carvana offer right here. Put in your trade payoff, your trade equity, all in one place. You'll be able to see your total amount financed and how that would then correlate to a monthly payment. So we're trying on our end to help people be a bit more informed as they start to walk through this process. And again, that's not live yet. It's going to be a little while before it is, but it's a great step in the direction of, okay, I want to understand how much I'm actually financing before I go and get, I think what the article said, the average interest rate on a used vehicle is, what was it? It was 8.62%. You know, that's also why we're partnering with credit unions, so that we can help people work directly with the credit unions as well.
Yeah. And you know, Zach, when it comes to structuring loans for used vehicles, there are different things too. Everything's different for a used vehicle. And I know that Ray has heard the term power booking.
Yes.
What is this? Explain this one. We were talking about this yesterday. I had no clue what you were talking about.
Oh, okay, Zach. I'll help you with what power booking is.
Power booking.
Every used car has a book value, and then the base book value of any model, and then there's an increase in the value based on trim level, and there's an increase in the value based on factory installed,
of course,
options that are part of the car. So let's say you have a base model Jetta, as base as it gets. Okay, no sunroof, AM/FM radio. I got
no
real infotainment system, nothing.
I get it.
Well, the base book value on that might be $15,000. Now, the dealership might be selling the damn thing for $20,000 or $22,000 based on market conditions today. And their customer that's looking at the car doesn't have enough money to put down to fall within the guidelines set up by the bank for lending against that base value car. So power booking is sending a book report to the bank that indicates that the vehicle has more equipment on it than it really does. Okay. They might say, well, it has a moonroof. They might say, oh, it has navigation. And the list can go on and on and on. It's got, all the options. It's got the premium package and the cold weather package and the heated steering.
So power booking is a term for lying about the value of the vehicle.
Yes, and it might not have any of those things, but
to get the deal done, yes.
The bank will lend against that vehicle based on the book report that a dealership might have sent in.
Why do we
Mm.
give cute names to fraud? Yeah, okay, so power
Oh,
booking is
yeah,
fraud. Got it.
I don't know why we give cute names to fraud, but we do. So that's in the industry. It's called power booking. Many used car managers do it. Many managers do it because, and
Finance
many
managers
finance
will do
managers
it.
do it because they want to get the damn loan approved.
They
So wait,
want to
so
get the
Kimberly,
deal
help me.
done.
Yeah, help me
Yes.
understand. Why do I care about this as a consumer, Kimberly? Why do I care about going power boating?
I mean, if you're in the dealership, I don't think you really care about it that much. All you know is that you're getting a loan. You don't know how the finance manager got to the point that they got to. You don't know the inner workings of it. But I don't want to drive past that credit union and see your car sitting there because it got repoed because your payment was too high. It's just, it unravels everything. It can lead to all kinds of things. But power booking will, I don't know, shut down a dealership, put a finance manager behind bars, and then when the car gets repoed, all of those power booked items are not there. There's no penalty against the dealer. Well, there can be. There definitely can be. But I again was taught that, Kimberly, you can go to jail if you do these things. However, I have seen it often in the industry, and then that credit union will cut you off and just say, you're power booking, we're not taking any more of your business.
Wow.
We've got too many cars sitting in here from your dealership.
And if that were to happen a lot from a particular dealership to a particular lender, at a certain point, that lender could turn around and sue the dealership for fraud. Okay.
That's what it is.
And, well, exactly.
Yes. Yes.
And the dealership could be forced to buy back every one of those loans and make the bank whole. Now, I haven't seen that happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does or if it has. But yeah, the disservice to the customer is that he's carrying more of a loan than he should on the vehicle that he bought, so that when he goes to trade it in, he's going to be more upside down. He's going to be the proud owner of more negative equity than he should have been. And if he stops making his payments and it gets repoed, the bank might come to him and say, well, the loan we gave you was based on the car having all this equipment. It doesn't have it. Were you the one that lied? So yeah, there's nothing good for the customer there, other than, well, they get a car, they get a loan, and the loan amount is way too much for the car they're driving, and they'll never be in a positive equity situation probably until they've made their last payment.
Yeah, I like this this comment by Big Apple voiceover. If a realtor told a bank it had 4 bedrooms and it had 2 bedrooms, may equal jail time. May in air quotes.
Well, that could be the extra 2 bedrooms, the jail cells.
So I want to ask you both this question. Do you think that this is happening right now? Do you think power booking is going on as all these people are getting approved for these inflated priced vehicle loans?
I would say, of course.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the person gets into these inflated monthly payments and just can't swing it.
Let's jump to the chat here for a second and then switch gears. I want to talk a little bit of Ford news, and then let's actually jump right into, there's a Cox Automotive article I'll spring on both of you. Then let's do success stories. We've got from Tom here saying, my credit union is the same for all new and used, 2.99% for anything I buy right now. That's awesome. If that's the case,
for all, even if I had like a 2012, I could get.
Yeah, and on that front, I've learned credit unions market their best rates, and then the actual rates you get will likely be different. So make sure you qualify for them and all that fun stuff. So double check that, Tom. Marketed rates versus the actual rates. Credit unions, who knew? They kind of play games like car dealers, but I like credit unions. Still, Big Apple voiceover here. I had my YAA t-shirt on while shopping for a Toyota. The GM in sales spoke to me. The sales community is aware of the power of the YAA community. Love to hear that.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right, let me share this on my screen with both of you. This is kind of interesting. We've got from Cox Automotive, it came out just today, big truck and midsize SUV shoppers considered downsizing as gas prices soared. Essentially,
No
what Cox
kidding.
has produced here, Dad, are the top 10 growth segments from July of 2022 versus June of 2022. What's kind of interesting here, not what's kind of interesting, is we actually saw the segments that had the least increase in interest were actually your hybrid vehicles. Maybe I'm reading this chart incorrectly, but it shows that mid-size SUVs and compact SUVs and full-size trucks actually had the most increase in interest from June to July, whereas hybrid SUVs and electric SUVs had the biggest decline.
Do you want to know
I'm
why?
struggling to make sense of this price point.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why? Because it had everything to do with the fact that we've been talking for months and months and months that with the high price of gasoline, the values of larger SUVs that aren't as fuel efficient would be going down. So if you're a customer looking for something that's going to be going down in price so you can pay a little less, you're looking for those vehicles. If you're a customer that doesn't want to pay too much for something, well, then you're not going to want to be looking at a hybrid, because everything we've talked about over the last couple of months is that, well, hybrids are escalating in value dramatically because of the fuel savings associated with them. So I think that's the reason you see those type of statistics there. I could be wrong.
No, probably makes sense, honestly. Makes sense. And then think of what vehicles are actually in supply. It's like Ram 1500s. It's not
Yes.
Hyundai Ioniq 5s. You literally can't get your hands on them. So yeah, that makes sense.
And it's like it's a floating thing that's going to change every time the economy changes, every time gas prices go up. And I mean, month to month. Ray and I have seen it in the industry forever. Every time the gas goes up, then we're selling little cars, and vice versa.
Yep.
Well, speaking of pricing, we do have an update from Ford with regards to their Mustang Mach-E. Prices are planned to go up by $8,300. The company blames supply chain issues and material costs. So obviously there are different trim levels. The entry spec Mach-E has gone up by $3,000 to $48,195, while some of the other trim levels are going up by $5,875, $7,900, and $8,300 for different trim levels. So we are seeing the continued story of electric vehicles getting more and more expensive.
They will never become the vehicle of choice for the vast majority of Americans until the price of those vehicles go down. And every time there's an additional price increase, it means there's thousands of less people that now have any interest in owning one of those.
Yes. We were having this conversation last night, myself and my two girlfriends who are in the industry. One of them is one of the top salespeople in this region. And she said, Kim, there's no way. No one around here wants an EV, electric, anything, except for maybe, something in the kitchen. Nobody wants that around here, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So we were discussing the whole topic in California about, what they're trying to get rid of all ICE vehicles, and by 2035, I think it is. But I agree. We live out here in the mountains, and we're at the interstates of 70 and 81. Everybody
It's not going to work. It's not going to work, and it's not going to work when the average transaction price for an EV is, depending on what source you read, somewhere between $62,000 and $66,000.
Yeah.
That, when you look at the first topic we were on today, which was the pre-owned cars and the average loan amount of $28,000, you think that person could ever, for an instant, think about owning an EV if the average transaction price is somewhere between $62,000 and $66,000? They can't. They won't. There is a market for those vehicles for wealthy people. There is no market for those vehicles for the average person. And I don't like to think of myself as average, but I probably fall into the average category. So
Me too.
eh,
Me too,
yes,
Ray.
so why not mass market to the average people that are the biggest percentage of potential buyers?
Let's switch gears here, guys.
Really? You gotta be kidding me.
I'm going to share two. These are my really you got to be kidding me's that become success stories. So Kimberly Pops,
Oh,
you got maybe 3 to 5 minutes to think of your success stories from the week. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to
all
live
right.
we're going to live dangerously here, okay? I'm going to go to
Okay.
Slack. We use Slack. It's our internal communications tool. Okay? This is how we as a team all communicate with one another. And Pops, I know, small eyes, so or not small eyes, but you got your eyes.
Well, and
Can
you
you read
also
that?
know, I'm not on Slack because I
Correct.
am proudly a slacker.
My dad refuses to join Slack. It is what it is. Here's the deal, Dad.
We talk
Make
about
it-
him all the time on Slack too,
We
because
do.
he's not there.
Good.
We talk about him.
I posted this message at 6:28 p.m. last night.
Make it bigger.
Holy cow. Make it bigger? Is
I can't read it. Jeez.
that big enough?
Yeah. Now I can see it.
I know how Mom must have
Oh.
felt. Holy cow. I just had an incredible phone call with a couple, Gretchen and Rob Cox, who found us via YouTube. They called in looking for information on an extended warranty for their 2010 Ford F-250 with 160,000 miles. I pulled the quote and shared it with them. Gretchen asks me how the price can be so cheap, and I explain our flat $500 markup. Come to find out that Gretchen and Rob bought a 2-year extended warranty from a Ford dealer 2 years ago. I asked them who the contract is through, and lo and behold, it's AUL. What did they pay for that 2-year, 24,000-mile contract 2 years ago? $4,100. What was
Wow.
our quote for 3 years and 36,000 miles for the same coverage? $2,310. Proud is an understatement. We are helping real people save thousands of dollars. Wow, this is number one of my of my two. Really, you got to be kidding me. Really, you got to be kidding me that other Ford dealer 2 years ago was
Yeah.
probably making, if the wholesale cost was around $1,800. Actually, the wholesale cost was going to be even lower because it's a 2-year contract. So it's probably more
Yeah.
like $1,400,
Oh,
maybe
1,200
12 to
1,200
$1,400.
bucks.
Yeah, I can.
1,200
promise
bucks. Let's
you.
say 1,200 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sold it for 4,100.
Yeah. That finance manager just got back from vacation off of that deal.
Tahiti, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's
That's.
terrible.
I mean, but to me, that is it does not surprise me that the price. Yes, that's when I tell people that, especially vehicle service contracts in the finance office at a dealership have markup of anywhere from $1,000 to $3,500. I'm not kidding. I mean that. I'm not joking. So that's how much room you've got to negotiate with.
And I think last night it was like a couple things. One is if you call in after like 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, either I'm going to pick it up or it's going to go to voicemail. So I think Shannon and Rob are like, or Gretchen, excuse me, and Rob are like, whoa, are you the guy in the videos we've been watching? And that also made me feel kind of nice and special. But I think the thing that made it really special, Kimberly and Pops, was the fact that it's the same AUL product. It's just branded differently. So they had bought the Estate, which is like a different one of the same exact thing. And they were looking at the same thing from us. And again, the moment she said that, I was like, ugh. And we were having this heart-to-heart conversation. I think the only reason she can trust us is because she could go back and watch the videos for the past 3 years of us doing this thing and know that we're not ripping people off. And it was just such an aha moment for me. Again, just wanted to share that. I've got another one.
Okay.
This one truly
Okay.
is a really, you got to be kidding me. We have a community member named Tyrone. Tyrone somehow, unfortunately, I'll pull it up on the screen. Tyrone leased a Kia Forte with a $7,589 added dealer markup and a $500 a month payment. This is again from last night at 6:49 p.m. He reached out to YAA and got his payment down to $310 a month, a savings of $6,800. The hugest congratulations and everything to Tyrone, but Mario, space in our community forum, and Justice saved this gentleman $6,800. $6,800. Can you believe that on a lease deal? Wow.
That's pretty good.
There-
I don't know how Mario did that, but God bless him. I love him
Yeah.
for doing it.
I love love these guys so much. They just blow me away. Every single day they're doing this. Every day they're saving so many people so much money just by helping them through the process and to understand knowledge is power. And what, Ray?
Applied knowledge is power.
Yes. Yes.
Because knowledge without applying it, well, that was just a nice conversation.
I could scroll up
exactly.
for literally hours in our success stories channel, because that's where we all celebrate them, which is really, really fun. But I wanted to call out those two in particular. So Gretchen and Rob, if you're watching this, happy to be able to help you. Tyrone, if you're watching this, Mario and Justice, if you're watching this, we're just so proud of what we do. It's truly incredible, but it's also really you got to be kidding me moments. You know, people don't know what they get into. Fortunately, they stumble across us on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and then we can come in and we can help. So proud of what we do. Those are my two wins that I wanted to get out there. Who should I pass the baton to next?
Well, I don't have a win other than to say this. In the vein of trying to help people save money, today through the end of the month, through next Wednesday, if you go to joinyaa.com and you want to become a premium member, and if you use the code IFS, Inflation Fighting Savings,
we change it every time we do the promo. I love it.
Whatever the hell it is, and I'm the guy that came up with it in the first place, and I don't even know what the hell it is. But if you use IFS, it can save you 20%, whether you go monthly or if you do the annual. So it's not a win for me. It's a win for everybody out there that might want to save a few dollars to help fight inflation.
Awesome. Love it.
What about you, Kimberly?
On the heels of what you just said, Zach, I would like to say that you can be a free member in the community. And I just want people to realize, because I tell people this every single day in my emails, go become a part of the community, not for us. Go leave a success story, not for us, but because you need to think about how many other people out there are feeling very lost in the sea of car ownership and buying vehicles in this insane market. And I know this sounds crazy, but they feel very alone too. So they come to our community to realize that there are other people that are in the exact same boat that you are. And you can see through success stories, you can ask questions, and you can even help other people with your feedback and sharing your experience. So it's not just yes, don't get me wrong. We love seeing these success stories, and it makes us know that we're on the right path. But think about how many other people you're helping as well. And one last thing, if I add up just this month, how many dollars we have saved people in vehicle service contracts, I'm going to put the number anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000. That's what we've saved. That's what we've saved this month, today. And that's my range.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Wow.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah. There you have it.
I love it, guys. Now it feels really good what we're doing. I actually have a weekly update I'm going to send out on Slack soon. There's been so many team wins as well, things internally. Feels really good. Feels really good knowing that we're able to help folks. It's really sad that like a lot of people end up finding us a little too late, but there are always paths of recourse. I'm reminded actually when I was talking to Gretchen and Rob last night, they've got 2 more months on their extended warranty that they had bought. And I was like, you could cancel it and get your prorated refund. You might get it like $100 back. You might want to consider doing that. But anyway, let's leave it there for today, guys. Kimberly, thank you for your time as always on Fridays. We appreciate it. Pops, thank you for your time as well. We will be back on Monday. No Saturday night show over on the YAA channel, but stay tuned for regularly scheduled content. And we'll be back on Monday with more news that you can use. What time, Pops?
That would be noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And before we sign off, may I wish you a happy, safe, and fun weekend. Enjoy yourself with your friends out in Western Pennsylvania. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday.
And I know it's going to cover the screen really quick, but pulling up Space's comment, just like Kimberly was saying, go to the community forum. Read your lease contract. If you need help figuring out if it's a good deal, go to the YA community, review my lease deal channel before you sign. Enjoy the
Yes.
weekend, everyone. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Pops. Talk to you both soon.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya.
Good seeing you.